Last time on Roll for Distraction, the Family Jewels.
The party got a text from Rogue to swing by the Afterlife for a new gig. A client had something stolen from them by Maelstrom a few days ago. Fortunately, it was in a case with a tracker on it, so that the party can follow the car it's in. They accept the job, and then Nico spends the afternoon crafting an EMP charge to hopefully make the job easier. While the EMP doesn't go quite as planned, it does still come in handy as the party engages in a road battle with two Maelstrom cars. They manage to take down the goons, nab the case, and leave the neighborhood relatively unscathed. They return the case, which turns out to contain a living canary of all things, to a wealthy man near Town Hall, and Rogue wires them their payment. However, she also sends them a very serious-sounding message, demanding that they come to the Afterlife the next morning to talk to her.
Alright, roll 20. Let's see. Let's see if I can remember what this is.
I mean, you probably won't
I
need
don't
it,
think
but-
we'll need that.
Don't be so sure.
God damn it, Brian.
Brian, I support your choice of chaos.
Thank you. So do I.
Speaking of chaos, did y'all see that Maleficent the dragon at Disneyland just caught on fire during the show?
It was the Disneyland one of them. It was
Yeah.
the Phantasmic show or whatever, and the fucking robot dragon caught fire.
Oh my
The
god.
best
Just
part
metal
is-
as hell.
I mean, yeah, it was metal, wasn't it?
Oh. Anyway, speaking of robots,
Oh,
welcome to Cyberpunk Red, everyone.
What?
Yeah, when are we
What
fighting
does
the
that have to do with the robots?
When are we fighting the robot dragon in Cyberpunk?
I guess next
Don't
session.
tempt me. So yeah, last time, you guys did a fun little car chase, killed some goons, and re-stole a bird.
A Boyd.
A
My
bird.
boy.
His
Guys-
bird. That guy's
guy's
bird.
bird.
Some
Alright,
other
how-
guy's bird. After you got paid, you got a text from Rogue that had a sort of a stern tone to it,
Uh-oh.
asking, perhaps just telling, you to swing by Afterlife the next morning, which is what it is now. It is August 27th, 2045, which is a Sunday.
Did you look that up?
And
Like Sunday morning.
Today is also Sunday.
Yes.
it's the next morning. You gather up and pull up to Afterlife, I guess.
With no windows.
We kicked the
With
door
no
in.
wind shield. I think was the only one that got shot out was the front windshield.
That's really the worst one to lose, to be honest.
Some of the other one got chipped, I think. But yeah, your car's a little dented up. We'll deal with that later. And yeah, roll up to the Afterlife. Head on in.
Roll up
Bouncer
the
waves you
road.
through.
What up, Frederick the Bouncer? That's what we
Hey.
named him,
Hey,
Bouncer who
friend.
shall not be named.
right? Voldemort the Bouncer.
If we say it 3 times, does that make him appear?
Voldemort.
No, he's not Biggie Smalls. That doesn't work.
And then you walk into the back and sit down with Rogue in the meeting room. She looks slightly grumpy, which I suppose is normal for
How's
her.
that different?
But
Like, she looks
It's
completely
just a
normal
resting
to me.
bitch face. That's it.
yeah,
I wouldn't call it that. I wouldn't call her that, but sure.
yeah. You sit down. She says, "Shut the door."
Okay.
Get on the floor. Everybody walk the dinosaur.
So, as I said, I'd be keeping an ear out for anything on Militech. And, one of my guys over there,
Hey, my
or
guy.
a guy who knows a guy, sent me a little snippet of some audio that, I think we need to talk about.
Oh shit, it wasn't me, I swear.
Are you going to send us an actual audio file?
No, I'm going to act.
Okay.
I'm going
good luck
to
with that.
act.
She pulls her phone out, taps a couple buttons, and sets it on the table, and a little audio file plays. Starts out with static, and then you hear 2 voices. They're not like Maelstrom or anything, they're like normal voices. And one says, "You hear what the boss said over the phone yesterday?" "No, what?" "Blackburn thinks his grandkids are after his fortune. Old man's losing it." "What do you mean? He ain't leaving his family an inheritance?" "Apparently not, according to Wilson." Wilson, if you remember, is the fake name of Terry.
Towie.
Damn, I knew the man was cold, but that's rough.
buddy.
Apparently he's been ranting and raving some conspiracy. He thinks the Choo-2 explosion in Haywood is connected somehow. Full gonk, that guy. Shit, well, at least we're getting his money standing. Shh, and then back to static.
Ooh, Alexander.
That's me, Brian.
Can in post, can you and I do a back and forth exchange on that and like making an actual audio clip for the podcast? That could be fun.
Nah, because we got banter in the middle of it. So, like,
All right, well, Brian, now that you've been thoroughly shut down, let's move on.
You just destroyed Brian's
Yeah.
hopes.
Now that you've taken Brian and kicked him in the teeth, let's move on.
I don't want to lose our funny little banter that we had in the middle of
Brian, I like your idea.
I like it
What banter?
too.
No one
I
said
don't.
anything.
I don't
There was
like your
definitely
idea.
a
It was
couple of words in the
stupid.
middle.
Get it out of here.
No, there really weren't.
There wasn't anything important. Let Brian do his thing.
Literally just do like a 30-second recording back and forth and cut that in.
You know what? This banter right here is good enough to not do the recording.
Okay. I guess we've gone the other way. We've made it worse to do it.
Anyway, the recording
made up for it.
ends. And Rogue looks up at you guys. So, I had a feeling that this was personal
No idea what you're
from
talking
the
about.
beginning.
What's a
but,
Blackburn? Sounds like a stupid last name.
And she just looks at you and says, "Look, Roman, your actual
Raptor.
name." No,
Oh,
no, she
shit.
says that.
No! Been compromised.
Oh no, you've been made in the many, many bowling tournaments that we do several blocks from
Where's
here.
where's the nearest window?
You're underground.
We're
Shit!
2 stories down. What do you mean?
It's like one, but still
Where's the door?
locked.
Shit! I hide under the table.
She's like,
Okay,
"Look,
well, your intuition was correct then.
listen, cat's out of the bag."
What's a cat?
Your mother.
You know what a cat is. Get out.
had
Get
them.
back on the chair. Get out from under the table.
Listen, cat's out of the bag, so why don't we just tell the whole story? Why don't you guys fill me
You
in?
You heard it there.
I
Grandpa's
mean,
a dick. He left us
Grandpa's
out of the
not
fortune.
leaving us money.
We're taking it back.
Yeah, but I assume there's a little more background than that.
He killed our cousin.
Yeah, that too.
Yeah, our cousin was the person who got.
He was the mole. Okay, well,
Yeah.
sorry for your loss.
Thank you.
Wait, he's dead?
Yes, Terry is dead.
Zeneth?
Sorry.
I'm just gonna make every character I play from now on is gonna be named Zenith.
Every
Who?
character
Please
I
don't.
play is Mac.
Rogue, what were you about to say?
Yes.
I don't even know anymore.
We broke her.
Before we decided to practice our tight 5.
She's like, so there's still some details I'm missing here. Where's the middle generation in this?
Dead.
They're all
dead.
all died in the blast.
They're all dust in the wind.
No, they're not dust in the wind. They're atoms.
They were Infinity Ward.
Dust in the wind.
Gone, reduced to atoms.
I say that they were killed in the blast because she'll understand what that means. In the meta, I know Rogue was fucking there, but that's not.
Yeah. So for anyone not aware, you guys don't know this. There's no way for you to know this in character. But for anyone who's not aware of the greater lore of Cyberpunk, if Rogue was there when the bomb was detonated,
Yo.
like on
She
the
was
team
part of the insertion team.
that
She
delivered
put
the
it there.
bomb.
So she killed our parents?
She was part of a team that had a hand in it. So the bomb went off earlier than intended and killed more people than intended. The way it was supposed to happen was the bomb was supposed to get into the lowest level of the building, which would have just leveled the building and given everyone time to evacuate. But everyone not in the building, I should say. Everyone just in the neighborhood would have time to evacuate. But it exploded very early in the middle of the building, which turned the building into a shrapnel bomb across the entire middle of the city, which is why the casualties were so much higher than intended.
Oh shit.
So yeah, she was there. You guys don't know that. She's not going to tell you that.
No, she is not.
Yeah, but I know this now.
Yeah, you tell her that the whole middle generation of the family was taken out in the Arasaka Tower explosion. Everybody roll human perception.
-2.
Are you serious?
Yeah, I rolled
Okay.
a 1 and then I got a -7 and I only have
Okay.
a +4.
Human perception. That's a 16.
So Roman, you with your good roll.
That's me.
When Nico says that, you notice Rogue just sort of uncomfortably shift in her seat. She clearly has some sort of emotional attachment to the explosion, but she does a pretty good job hiding it. She's like, well, I'm not gonna kick you out or anything over lying to me. You didn't do anything that I wouldn't have done in your shoes. Playing it close to the chest is par for the course in this biz. as you heard in that recording, they're kinda on to you guys. So I think we need to slow down. I didn't really give a shit, but now that you've explained the full story, I think we should slow down and think more with what we're doing here.
So you're saying I shouldn't buy an exoskeleton and strangle my grandfather to death?
I wouldn't recommend that.
No, that wasn't really on the cards, but that
Okay.
was just an extreme example.
Why can't we just wait for him to die again?
You can, but you won't know when that'll happen.
Yeah, but it could happen like any day now, you know?
I mean, you've got like 3 or 4 weeks still.
Don't we have the
But that's
virus?
a whole week of uncertainty. You have the computer virus that you can choose to plug into Militech's main HQ network at any time, which would then kill him 24 hours after being plugged in.
We know the path they're gonna take.
You don't know the path that they're going to take, but you know the very beginning of the route. The truck would have to leave out of this very tiny neighborhood called the Executive Zone, and there's only one road in and out of it. So you could catch it at the beginning and follow it. Rogue's like, so, first things first.
I'm the realist.
You guys are gonna need some stuff, and probably some chrome.
I use
Chrome. Everything is chrome in the future.
Future.
She says, 3 days from now, some other fixers and I are getting a night market together, which is a
What does that
term you
mean?
would all know, where it's basically an underground meeting of merchants.
Troll market! Troll market! Troll market!
Yo.
Sure, man. It's just a bunch of fixers arranged to have all their various dealers meet up to make exchanges and purchases.
It's a black market swap meet. Let's
Essentially. And of course, in Cyberpunk, that includes a lot of firepower, as well as cyberware and doctors who can install it. She's like, so let's do that. Let's definitely do that. And then that computer chip that you guys needed Professor to decode. What was on that? If you got it from the warehouse, I assume it's connected.
It'll kill Grandpa in 24 hours when we
Grampus.
plug it in. We can choose when he passes.
Where do you need to plug it in?
The mainframe.
Yeah.
The Militech mainframe. Not necessarily the center server, but we just need to plug it into something connected to the server, and it'll.
Right.
It's a worm. It'll get to him.
Which means you need to be
In the
inside the
building.
fence at least.
I like to imagine it's an actual worm that'll crawl into his ear.
Yeah, didn't you see Ralph Breaks the Internet? It's like that.
I was gonna say, didn't
I
you
did
see
not.
episode 2, Attack of the Clones? You get a bounty hunter to send a shapeshifter to send a robot to send a bug.
Did we watch the same movie? I don't remember this.
In episode 2, Sidious wants Padme dead, so he sends Dooku, who sends Jango, who sends Zam, who sends a robot, who sends a worm bug.
That's exactly how it happens, which is
Weird
why.
fucking CGI worm.
Anyway, all you guys need to do is get into an office building and plug in a USB stick.
Alright, fine. Let's
Unfortunately, it's the most heavily the most
It's
heavily
the most heavily
guarded,
officed guard.
the most heavily officed guard in the world. The most heavily guarded office building, if not in the world, certainly on the West Coast. So that's gonna be a little difficult.
A little bit.
So anyway, you tell Rogue what the chip does, perhaps in slightly more technical terms, and she goes, "Huh, that's something." You know, most people wouldn't be able to kill their grandpa, but
But we're not like
Well-
most people.
He's a piece of shit. So
yeah, it kind of has it coming, I guess.
He's a pizza.
Yes.
He had it coming.
Let me think on that.
He
For
only had
a while.
himself to blame.
he's knocking on death's door, and I would just like to kick the door open and push him through.
If you'd
No,
have been there.
being able to control the timing is a good
If you'd
idea,
have seen
but
it.
obviously, with 24 hours on it, that has to be the last thing we do.
Mm-hmm.
Let me ask you guys this: knowing your skill set, would you prefer to sneak in, like literally, during the night, hop a fence or clip a fence or whatever, actually physically sneak in that way, or would you prefer to have some falsified credentials and go in, that way, unarmed probably, but
Who's sufficient in techie tech things?
That would be me, Tech.
Alright, Mr. Nico. What is your, as far as your abilities, as far as your abilities go, can you construct like a little robotic fly type situation?
I am limited by the technology of my time.
Yeah, the micro technology
I can't make a fly.
What,
We're not there.
nanoflies aren't a thing?
Like, drone technology is not too much farther along than it is in the real world.
But
Okay, but
I
drone technology
could
right now is pretty
make
good.
a human heart and throw it through a window for very cheap.
But why would
What?
you do that?
Well, we're just talking about technologies that we have available. Organs are very cheap.
Sure, yeah, I do have organ cloning down. Basically, I want you guys to spend the rest of this meeting planning how you're gonna get in and out of the
We
main
do have
Militech
one
HQ.
Miltech uniform.
That's
With our
helpful.
previous track record, stealth is not our forte.
I'm actually not bad at stealth.
We blew up a warehouse.
That was on purpose.
So yeah, Rogue basically wants to know, like, do you want falsified credentials made in the next couple of days
Yes.
to
That
go
would
in that
be
way,
good.
or do you want to go
How much do they cost?
the old-fashioned way? She's like, well, I'll get back to you on that. It depends how much effort it takes my guys to put them together. It varies a lot. Depends how good of a cover they come up with.
Who looks the most different out of all of us from our initial, like...
You mean like from like pictures of you when you were 18?
Yes.
The two of you who have robot eyes?
That'd be the fucking Wolf brothers.
Yeah, that would be Jack and Nico.
I cut and dyed my hair, but he'd see right through
And
that.
Pandora dyed her hair, yeah.
And really cut
Yeah.
it.
So they know, or they suspect that his grandchildren are coming after him. I'm pretty
No,
sure
it sounds
Militech
like
would...
they think he's batshit crazy.
It doesn't
Those two
sound
are
like,
just
at least based on that recording, it doesn't sound like everybody believes him. But given time, perhaps somebody might take him seriously and look into it. So
I'm just trying to think if us sneaking in is necessarily the best idea.
Like I said, we're not good at stealth.
We just have to get access to a computer, right?
you need to have access to any computer or port that is plugged into the building or wired into the building.
So, in theory, we can send a sacrificial lamb into the building to cause a disturbance.
So what you're saying is we kidnap 4 people from Maelstrom and drop them off in the lobby.
And then turn them over to local police. Cough, cough. And
sneak
while
in
doing
during the-
paperwork.
Well, you're making a big assumption that Militech would turn over someone who wronged them to local police.
They will not do that. They will keep them or execute them.
We have private prisons in the real world. Do you think they don't? You think they don't have exclusively private prisons in Cyberpunk?
I was saying we just release some random schmucks in there, like, to cause a ruckus, and then
You
one of
want to
us...
hire another merc to run a diversion while you do your sneak in, is what you're saying. Yeah. You could do that.
Yeah, I mean, we could, like, anonymously contract
diversion.
Maelstrom to just cause a
Attack.
ruckus. Yeah.
But okay, so your guys' vague plan at this point is accept Rogue's fake credentials, use those to gain access to the building, distract the bulk of the armed staff by basically starting a gang war in the parking lot.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's not subtle, but we don't need it to be.
So you propose vaguely that to Rogue, and
And her nose starts bleeding. It's weird.
Oh.
no, she sort of nods and takes it all in, and she's like, "All right,
That sounds really stupid.
we can workshop that."
Look, we're overthinking this. All we need is a window of
Oh my
opportunity.
god.
Here we go.
Pull the fire alarm in the Militech office.
Okay, that means we
Ooh.
have to be in the Militech office.
Well,
Shoot a
you're
fire grenade into the Militech office to start a real fire.
Fire a rocket at the Militech office.
who threw that piece of paper at me?
Hear me out. Nico might be onto something.
Do you mean Roman with a fire alarm?
Sure.
Sure.
What are
Hear
my
me out.
cousin's names?
That stupid idiot.
Roman might be onto something.
I am.
If
I am.
If we can pull the fire alarm, and we were to disguise ourselves as firefighters responding to
Oh my God.
Miltech building,
But that means
I feel like
we
we'd have a better chance getting in there being disguised as a stripper. Like, what? I don't...
Rogue's like, listen, your cover will be that you work for Militech.
Yeah, like...
And you just work in a different office and you're
Yeah.
here for a meeting. That'll be the cover.
You know, if we need a good disguise, I used to read, my mother used to read me this old children's book, something about a pistachio disguisey.
Oh my god.
Boo.
Boo this man.
It's
It
an
sounds like a really
Boo.
shitty story.
It was a children's story.
Listen, it most certainly was not a children's story. So Rogue is like, okay, so it sounds like you guys have the bones of a plan here. You're gonna
12%.
You're gonna get the fake credentials. You're gonna spend the next couple of days looking around town for some sort of loud distraction, seeing what you can come up with. And in 3 days' time, you'll come to the night market, and that'll be how we spend the rest of the session, basically. So, you guys can leave the afterlife, and Roman, you can roll land vehicle tech, or whoever wants to roll land vehicle tech.
I have a plus 14. I got a 17.
Okay, the windows are fixed.
Ba-da-da-da.
Great, that kills a couple hours. You guys have 2.5 days now, or I guess like a day and a half really, to figure out who are your schmucks that you're getting to attack one of the most heavily fortified places in the world, and how you're going to convince them to do it.
I would like to scout out the area.
You can drive by in a cop car at some point, and so it's way in North Night City. There's a whole military base that's just beyond the city limits, and the office building is just within the city limits. It's a very brutalist rectangular building.
Nothing fancy.
It's like 80 stories, mostly black, very heavily tinted windows where there are windows. Big doors in the front, and then loading docks around the back, and like a fenced-in area with a bunch of trucks and some heavier vehicles. No like tanks, but like some like APCs and stuff.
On the street that the front entrance is on, what are some of the other buildings like?
It's a very industrial neighborhood, so it's warehouses and factories.
Okay, so some stuff that we could potentially get someone in for when this inevitably goes tits up.
I'm sorry, what was that phrase?
Tits up?
No, when the shit goes tits up.
When the event goes awry.
When everything goes poorly and we have a response that someone will probably need to get bailed out of. I'm just thinking of if there's like positions across the street or whatever that we can more easily get into and provide like Overwatch.
Yeah, so a lot of these factories are, I mean, obviously literally everything around is less heavily guarded than the base itself. Obviously they have eyes on all these buildings around here. But yeah, if for some reason, like a street getaway is not viable, then you might be able to duck into the buildings to break visual.
I still think the best case scenario is going to be that whoever goes in does not get made and just gets to plug in a USB to a computer. And
yeah, the ideal scenario is you get in, you have an ID badge, you get in, you find a computer in a room that is minimally occupied, plug the stick in, take the stick back out a moment later if you can get away with that, and
look,
then
I'm sure this place has a
leave.
massive cubicle farm where there's a bunch of untended computers. So
and if there is a big firefight that's a distraction, you can just be like, oh my god, this is crazy, I'm going to leave. Like, because your cover is that you're business people, you're not guards. Okay, so yes, Colin does his drive-by. Let's figure out the bigger problem, which is how get goons to shoot at building.
Could we have Mac do an autograph signing in the office?
In the what?
In the office.
Well, if he just shows up as himself, Grandpa's not going to be too happy about that.
That's right.
Where does Maelstrom operate out of?
Primarily South Central Night City, I believe.
A dumpster filled with shit.
Is that close to the Militech building?
No, it's kind of the opposite end of town, but they are kind of all over the place.
I was thinking
they're known
we
to branch out occasionally because they're just so
me,
chaotic.
Roman, could drive up to a bunch of Maelstrom guys and shoot at them willy-nilly, and then draw them to the Militech building.
You and your car, being the bait, would then need to get within the perimeter of the Militech building in order to, like within the fence, in order to aggro the guards, basically, right? Which is not something you can't do. Referring again to Colin's drive-by, they just have like a pretty standard checkpoint gate, like the little swingy arm that goes up and down. You could slam a car right through that and do a donut in the parking lot and then drive back out, and then Maelstrom's in there. It's not easy.
There is also just sneaking a bomb onto a delivery truck.
Yeah, you could also just put a bomb on one of the many delivery or an oil tanker.
Yeah,
a remote explosive, and then beep, and then that'll at least be somewhat of a distraction. Not as much as a full-on firefight, but probably much more reliable and predictable. You just stick a remote C4 under an oil tanker.
Now that we could do with a drone to just connect to a truck on the outside. That's doable. It's like,
okay, so
it's
you want to rig up a small drone, a little quadcopter.
Yep.
To
strap an
to fly
explosive
over
to a gas
a
truck
Militech branded
at a
oil
stoplight.
tanker in the neighborhood.
Yep.
Drop a remote explosive on it, and then you'll have that. That's actually extremely doable. Yeah.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah.
That's a good emergency plan. I still think perhaps for somehow getting Maelstrom to attack Militech would be cool. But
that would be a much better distraction, but there's a higher chance that it fails, whereas the car explosion would be a distraction that is almost guaranteed to work, but would not buy you as much time, because it'd just be one explosion, people would rush over, and then...
Well, it depends on where it is. If
this
is the second it hooks up to fuel, to empty fuel, it would be near a fuel depot, and then it would explode. So,
it would be a big boom, certainly.
Yes, we could certainly cause a lot of damage with that, but
yeah,
I'm going to end up on a list.
So let's commit to one plan or the other. Why don't we put it to a vote? Predictable remote explosive, or Mad Goose Chase, where Roman does a donut in the parking lot with Maelstrom chasing him.
Goose.
Por que no las
cooler,
dos?
but highly
yeah, you know
unpredictable.
what? Let's do both.
What kind of los dos?
No. I'm gonna make you pick one, just because it seems
I like
a
the
lot.
drone.
Yeah.
It's
so-
way less risky for us. If we
Am I
use-
hearing 3 for drone?
Yeah.
No, I vote donut.
Roman, what are you doing? Because 3 of us voted drone and 1 voted donut.
I like doing donuts.
All right, well, you still lose, because that's
All right,
2 to
Jesus.
3.
Drone plan it is. So why don't we say that, Nico, you'll build your drone and you will find yourself a position on, say, a neighboring rooftop to monitor the situation and pilot the drone while the other 4 of them go in.
Okay.
Is that agreeable?
And I have a rifle with an effective range of essentially yes. So
Right, if you need to provide some covering fire, you can do that a little bit, though there'll be a lot coming back at you shortly. Okay, so that sounds like a relatively solid plan. So with that, a couple of days will pass. If anybody wants to spend those days doing anything in particular, let me know.
I feel like I need to rig up a drone, so what...
You
what
need
do
to
want
rig
me
up a
roll?
drone.
Is that weapons tech or
roll-
basics tech?
Give me one roll for basic tech to make the drone do what you want it to do.
That's
right,
17.
with, like its claws. Okay, good. And then give me one roll for weapons tech to
That's a 19.
hook up the weaponry. Great. All right, you've got that then. The drone will be reusable. The bomb will not.
I would like to use my couple of days to continue to survey the Militech building and try and figure out if there's any sort of like delivery schedule of the trucks. That way we don't potentially run the risk of Nico dropping a drone on a truck that ends up just driving right past the building.
Okay, give me a second. Yeah, Colin, go ahead and roll perception for me as you're doing these. I guess you're just making your daily patrol as a cop be that neighborhood.
18?
Okay, great, yeah. So you notice that they have a full tanker of oil come by early every morning, about 8 a.m., presumably to fill up whatever vehicles come by that day.
Does it go into the military base portion, or does
It goes into the office building property. It goes into their parking lot, pulls up to a hookup somewhere, near the building. So an explosion in that area would just barely strike the building. You'd probably take out a couple of cars, and you'd severely damage the actual refueling area, which would be a solid distraction. Not a full-on combat response, but a good distraction.
It would absolutely put them on high alert.
Absolutely, yeah.
Would the explosion result in a police response and other, first responders?
Police would show up. Militech would probably just ask them to be on standby. EMS would come through, but, Okay, anything else to do in these couple of days?
Yeah,
Party.
sort of. I would like to go to a random street corner and give an impromptu concert.
And then shove money down a man's throat.
Yeah, why not?
Are you sure it's wise to do
Can we not
publicly
draw
loud
attention to
things?
ourselves?
Well, not nearby.
Everything's nearby, relatively. The city's not that big.
Oh, fine. I won't do an impromptu concert. My
Sharona.
my fans will just have to go on without me.
Oh, could I try and repair that cyber eye on one of the days, finally? I've never...
Sure. Cybertech.
22.
Okay. You have that.
Alright.
It's a custom cyber eye. Maybe I'll work out stats for it later, unless you feel like just selling it at the night market.
That's probably what I'm gonna do.
We should buy shit at this night market.
That's the
All
plan!
right, yeah, is everybody good? Is it night market time?
Night market.
Okay. So at some point over these couple of days, Rogue texts you with the details. The night market will be August 30th, which in 2045 is a Wednesday, my dudes. So yeah, Rogue texts you with the details. It's gonna be in a abandoned warehouse on the outskirts, way south Night City, and it's gonna be her and 3 or 4 other fixers together with just about anything you could ask for. And sure enough, you go there late on Wednesday night, about 11 when you roll up. From the outside, the warehouse doesn't look like there's anything going on. It's dark, but there's a number of cars parked outside. So you pull up, kill your lights, walk up to the warehouse door, give it a little tap, tap to tap, tap. Warehouse door rolls up.
Hey.
One of the bouncers, there's several bouncers there, and one of them is the guy from the afterlife, and he goes, "Oh, okay, go. Quick, come on.
Okay,
Thank
okay,
you.
we're going.
And ushers you in, and they slam the sliding door behind you, and inside it is a bustling marketplace. Anything and everything that you could need to do crimes.
Anything, everywhere, all at once.
So they have a tank.
Not everywhere, just right here. They do not have a full-on tank, no.
But someone is selling one, they just don't have it here.
Yeah, you may be able to buy the deed to a tank.
Can anyone use a rocket launcher?
I do have a plus 12 to heavy weapons.
You could absolutely get your hands on a rocket launcher here. Yeah, that's not normally something you can grab at,
Costco?
Certainly not.
Yeah, what
no,
do you think this
certainly
is,
not Costco.
GTA? God.
Well,
But you can definitely find a rocket launcher here. Anyway, open the app. Tell me what you want. Go in the store.
Yeah, I guess I'll buy a rocket launcher.
All right. First purchase of the evening,
I'm looking at a tech scanner.
Nice.
which is cyberware.
Cyberware, yeah. See, it's like there's a lot of cool cyberware, but I've only got so much humanity because I'm down an extra 6.
Well, yeah. Because of the trauma.
The trauma.
Okay, yeah, if you want to get a tech scanner, you can do that, John.
Okay, could I negotiate the price though? Or is that
Give
kind
me
of...
persuasion.
13.
500, buddy.
Alright, worth a shot.
Alright, so you get a tech scanner installed. Do your humanity loss.
If I had 5,000 gold, or 5,000
Gold.
5,000 gold, we wouldn't be robbing this motherfucker.
5,000 eddies.
Wait, Alexander.
Yeah.
I walk up to the counter, and with a 22 roll, I go, "How about a signed autograph?" And you bump that price down a little bit.
What do you want to buy?
For John. For John wanting to buy his rocket launcher.
Colin was
John
buying the rocket
Colin wants a rocket launcher.
I was buying like an AI personal assistant.
All right.
To help me.
Fine, that. I'm trying to help you out, man.
I know you are. You just
I
didn't
rolled a
remember what I was-
22.
Okay. Yeah, you can go up to Nico, and yeah, sure enough, with your good roll, this particular vendor recognizes you, and he'll take an autograph on his gun, which is the thing that people autograph in this universe. And for John, he'll knock that down to $350 for you.
Oh, sweet.
You guys also might want to buy armor-piercing ammunition.
Yeah, I have a little bit of that. I may want to grab some more.
Is presumably the car that you'll be shooting at will have a shit fuck ton of
Oh,
armor.
they sell armor-piercing grenades. That would maybe help.
I'm thinking 5 armor-piercing rockets.
Oh my god.
We also have to not destroy the contents of the vehicle.
I have 3 armor-piercing grenades also.
I have 3 smoke and 3 tear gas grenades.
Should I buy more tear gas, or should I buy more smoke? Or more incendiary?
Alright, so Gerard, do you want me to give you my 3 I can't say it. My 3 poison grenades that I have? Because I can just subtract them from me and you can loot 3 and then that's even.
Yeah, sure.
If you want him to have them since he has the launcher, that's fine.
Like
What are
he
they
has
called?
Tear
Poison grenade?
gas grenade. Tear gas.
Oh, tear gas grenades.
Poison's a separate thing.
I'm gonna buy a single EMP grenade just in case.
Okay. Yeah, they're expensive, but
Cha-ching.
yeah, it's good to have. Is anyone gonna get the Mr. Stud sexual implant?
No.
Whoa, where is that?
Excuse me? What?
Should I get a pair of binoculars?
If you want.
I have binoculars now.
How much humanity does my character have? It's not high.
You can check.
I got 20.
Okay.
Alright, what can I get to get me to the lowest level possible?
Oh my god, duct tape. I'm getting duct tape.
I would not get it super low, because then if you experience like one more traumatic thing and you roll another d6 and you roll bad,
But
that shit
but
happens.
it'd be funny.
I could afford the double jump.
Yeah,
I could get 2 cyber legs and double jump.
that's a lot of humanity.
It's 9.
Altogether?
Rope.
Yeah,
Do I have
it's
rope?
only 3 for each of those pieces. Cyber legs are 3 each, and the jumper is
Okay.
only 3. It's not that bad. It'd be $700. I'd be down to 300.
You're gonna spend the rest of the night market getting your legs changed out.
Yeah, I don't know. That's the only problem. Is like I don't know if I want to like completely replace my legs.
You know, John, you did say that you wanted to get onto a neighboring rooftop during this heist thing. Or not heist, but infiltration.
You're not wrong, and the ability
So
for
maybe
me to
the
just,
jump booster will come in handy.
Yeah, having my AR and the ability to jump and like shotgun people is might be cool.
I would say the double jump in 2077 is pretty great.
It's I'm so pissed that I got it so late in the game. It's so fun. I also have 13 humanity left, so I can have 2 more traumatic events before I retire.
Alright, so you got the robo legs? Is that what I'm hearing?
Ooh, I want to sell Omni's Cyber Eye.
Okay. Roll streetwise to find a buyer.
It's under cool. It's one of the cool stats.
Cool. All right. Cool. All right. Kick it.
I rolled a 24.
Okay, so yeah, you can get an extra 1,000 eddies out of that eye. It's custom, but it's also used. So
Yeah.
Yeah.
I cleaned it up. It looks great. I fixed
yes,
it.
but anyway, yeah. So you can get 1,000 eddies out of the cyber eye, which you can, if everybody wants to take 200, you can just do that. And then, is there anything else to buy at the night market?
I don't think so. I got my ammo for
If
my
you just
guns.
need ammunition and basic shit, you can always come back for that type of stuff whenever. But if you want fancy cyberware or big weapons or anything crazy like that, last chance.
No, I'm
I'm
good.
good.
Can we get a goose named Maverick here?
There are animals for sale.
They're very
Oh,
expensive.
don't
they-
tempt me.
Very expensive, very poisonous. Do not eat. Before you leave, Rogue finds you and waves you over to her corner
Hey, friend.
and says, "All right, here's what we got." And she pulls out 5 ID cards, Militech, with your faces on them and false names. And she's like, "I don't know how long these will be good for. Probably only a couple more days. So
Hurry the fuck up.
Oh, so we're
take these last couple days to prep. And well, these are on the house."
Oh,
Wow.
That's a big house, huh? Thank you.
Sorry, your grandfather's an asshole.
Can you imagine though if we just like didn't actually end up doing this mission and we the ID's just expired. We have to go back to Rogue. Like, sorry.
It's like,
Fucked
this one
up.
costs double. Like, yeah, that's fair.
Anyway, yeah, that is about where we will call it for tonight. You guys leave the night market, head on home, and sometime in the next 2 or 3 days, you will do your little infiltration mission, and then 24 hours after that is the heist.
Wow.
So wow, there's maybe 2
Oh
or
my
3 more
God.
episodes left.
There may be as little as 2 episodes left, and in keeping in the tradition that we established exactly one time in our previous season, in the next episode, which would theoretically be the second to last episode, you can find out what we're playing on the next season. So make sure you catch that.
Yeah. If we haven't mentioned it already and forgot.
Catch that little announcement. So as always, thanks for watching. Thanks for listening. Like, comment, subscribe, etc., etc., etc. Tell your friends. And we'll be back in 2 weeks. Goodbye.
Tell your wife, tell your
Thanks for
kids.
going on our journey to murder our grandfather.
Goodbye.